then it pipes it to your, knows everything about you.
It's like at some point I was driving in my hometown, and there was somebody in my car, and then I said, look at that bar, how boring it looks like. And then an hour after, I started having ads of that bar on my Facebook feed.
Oh, Facebook's the absolute worst for it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
100% right.
I gave up
You know
Facebook.
what?
a
I
long
don't
time
even
ago.
have to say anything. You know what? I didn't experiment. I just thought of it, and maybe about 3 hours later, it popped up.
Wow.
No, I'm serious. I don't even have to say anything anymore. I can just think it.
So they're scanning your brain, huh?
Well, what do you think? What do you think that COVID vaccine is?
Hey, don't get your channel canceled in my
yeah,
live.
come on, don't do that.
Sorry.
He's never.
I got canceled already, man.
Oh yeah, I know.
No, he panicked.
It's like, oh no,
oh no, bail.
So this is his projects that he has. What has he got? He's got some pyramids.
He's doing electrolysis and.
Sorry, BRB with my proper count.
You know, you guys were talking about teleporting energy.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Japan just invent a laser that could reach the moon? Isn't that a form of energy? You know,
sure.
From one side to the other.
Yeah, but the laser can lose a lot of energy because it's a normal light, and normal light will bounce and reflect off dust, the clouds, and things like that. You know,
bodies.
And but if you're using microwaves, it's gonna go through these materials. You know,
lasers have the ability to burn everything between it, especially when you're dealing with that kind of power.
But can you imagine that they created something that could reach that, far?
Well, light's pretty good. I mean, doesn't take much to really do it. I mean, I've seen people mark the moon with lasers that we have, commercial lasers. So, but energy transfer is a lot different. A lot. So, crickets.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading my emails.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. We multitask while we do the show sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's good. Good to stay connected.
Yeah, sometimes things pop up and you want to show it. Sometimes I go over my YouTube channel while we're doing the show and I present it. Or I see a good video or whatever, I'll post it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to do a dolphin bubble video.
Dolphin bubble video?
Oh, you'd love that. I think Lulu would love it. Dolphins, sure? Yeah.
I like dolphins, but what's the dolphin bubble video?
Yeah, they blow bubbles with their spout, and it comes out like a toroid, and then they play with it. It's awesome. I was trying to use that as an example for.
Oh right, they create the toroid. Yeah. I've seen that. Well, it's funny you said that. I saw that not even a week ago. Not even a week ago.
Yeah, I showed it on when I talked to Nathan as well a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
And it's not just dolphins that do it. Scuba divers do it as well.
Yeah.
But the scuba divers are usually when they're facing the surface and they just blow up. They can do it that way, like blowing a smoke ring, I think. And but dolphins do it naturally. Somehow they picked it up, and all of a sudden they just started learning. And the weird thing about it is these are captured dolphins, and they were learning somehow one would learn in one place or one pod, and then all of a sudden, like 6 months down the road, all of a sudden another pod started doing the same thing. Now, how do they do that? They don't transport them around.
Yeah.
They're the same water.
No, different places. But the people watch them all the time. But there isn't a lot of videos of it. But I've been trying to find a good one.
Yeah.
Are you playing chess right now, Mike?
No, I'm trying to find something here to put on the show here.
There's an APEC tomorrow, but it's not being recorded.
Yeah. I
Oh, yeah?
don't
Why?
watch APEC.
Don't know.
Oh, it's the open mic, the lab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some of this spamming.
Spamming.
So it says send them a link.
Send me a link. Send me a link. Maybe he wants to join.
Drive by.
Never seen the guy before. If I see
Yeah, I
regulars,
know.
yeah, I'll let them on.
Oh, so BurnEye really got suspended already just because you said the
No,
the
no,
V
you had
word.
to go. No, you had to go to the washroom.
No, yeah.
Well, okay, just for shits and giggles.
It's going to lay low for a little bit.
I scared him. Gave him a heart attack.
As soon as he heard that, he was like, no.
I'm human. I do a slip up every now and then.
Come on.
Yeah, it's part of the fun.
It's not. Is it being recorded? If it is, it's easy to blurb over.
Yeah, I got it.
2 seconds worth of video.
Yeah,
that's that one.
Recorded. So that's the power unit I've been working on for my friend there.
That's what, 1 gauge?
Yeah, 1 gauge power cable on that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Over
I did not
engineered.
cheap out.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? This thing will be cranking about, if I go 18, if you pull 1800 to 200 watts, that thing will be cranking about 200 amps. So you gotta have a good.
Is it 12 volt or 24?
It's 12.
12. Yeah, I got it.
If it was 24, I could go half that size.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've done battery work before. I told you I made a scooter.
Yeah, you were saying there, yeah. So that's just some of the pictures. That's my messy storage locker, which I'm working on to make a lab out of it. Actually, no, what I want to try to.
I never asked you that. Does it have a sound or no sound? It's silent.
What?
The battery.
It's
Except for
only
the
if
fan.
it gets really hot, they'll have 2 fans on it. I got a couple of good videos here.
Where it's like,
okay, here it is. This is the one here I was telling you about.
It's just battery, Lulu.
I
Should be silent.
Okay, here's the one I was talking about. Disruptive Technologies Go Black. It was 0 Point Energy group. This is about the cold heat engine. So what I'll do is I'll put the link here in the description and for everybody to see it, and you can watch this video. It's really fascinating. I'll post it here on the live chat. That's the link for the video. So after you watch our show tonight, you can click on this link, save it in your favorites or whatever. Watch it. It's a really good documentary on the cold heat engine. So,
I like the Best of Vader 2 hours full matches versus Sting. That's classic.
Yeah, the wrestling you're talking about. Yeah, I used to follow wrestling too back in the day.
Showing your list there.
Yeah. Oh God, I was big into the wrestling when I was young.
Yeah, that's fine. I was into it. Was. Oh, dollar.
You
Yeah,
remember Stone Cold Steve Austin
yeah,
and The Rock?
yeah.
That one up above that Floyd Sweet one. That one,
Okay,
the Blush
that's
Wall.
oh, this one here.
No, the magnet one down below. Yeah, the
Oh,
big
this one here.
sandwich there. Yeah.
Oh, that's Floyd Sweet device
Yeah,
with VTA.
there's something to that. They're wiggling the Blush Wall back and forth, and that's setting off the coils down below. Like it's some kind of a tetrode, or not a tetrode, but a.
I think it's more of like an electric. That's what Bendini was saying.
I don't exactly. It's current based. It's the coils are making it current based, but
I made a homemade coil winding machine.
I'll just activate it. It just transforms, sucks in the energy via the block wall.
That's one of my. Those are the two piezos there.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good documentary too on Nathan Stubblefield. That was done in 2008. Just some of the old pulse motors I've worked on.
Yeah, those are fun.
Oh, this one is the. This is one of my best videos that I've posted. I got over 8,000 views on this. The End Machine.
Yeah, it's a good subject.
Yeah, but your counter is, like I was saying, it's people click on your the like button, but it's just the counter does not increase
What, on the End Machine?
on your YouTube videos.
Yeah, you could click on it and it'll go right to the video.
Yeah, but I'm saying people click on the like button, but the counter is not increasing.
It's not
Oh,
recording that. It's just recording
yeah.
the statistic for
Yeah,
his side.
right. It actually uploads it later onto
Yeah.
the YouTube channel. It's
Okay.
interface.
Oh,
with
that's
it.
not YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, this is on. Well, this is YouTube right here. This is on YouTube. But as we're doing the show, it will stream live, but it takes a while for it to save it after the show is done. But
Okay.
it saves it on the StreamYard platform.
Oh,
So
yeah.
after the show, I could go into my library and I could see all the shows we did.
They just use it for the analytics and later on to give you money if you showed ads.
John Serjanka, that's another good video about this guy. This guy was an interesting guy.
Yeah.
This one, oh yeah, the negative resistor.
Yeah.
That was another good one. Some of my other projects here. Oh yeah, this one here is a good one on Eric Dollard interview. This is at I think the Higher Side. Yeah, this was the Higher Side podcast he was on. That was a good show. That's definitely a good listen to.
When he's younger, that guy was brilliant, man.
Yeah.
He's just so smart that he just, I don't know, couldn't fit in, I guess.
Those are the wheels for my my generators. I did those on the water jet. Those are actually water jet cut.
Ceramic bearings? Nice.
Yep. Yeah, you have to use ceramic bearings. If you use steel bearings, it's going to interfere with the motor and cause cogging. Yeah. Those my old experiments. I actually had a plasma ball there. Just creating a field. What else I got here?
Pretty big one, too. That was a big one.
Yeah.
creates like a 5 or 6 foot field off that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got the plasma tube now, so that works really well. I did some cool experiments with that. That's my orgon accumulator. I was working on that. The Wilhelm Reich orgon
I'm
accumulator.
suspecting this is the way we shield our coil. Right here. This is how we keep the longitudinal energy from getting out.
Yeah,
You lock it within the capacitance and the layers.
Yeah.
So you change it from longitudinal to spherical.
yeah. It's very time consuming to make that damn thing. Like that's only 4 layers. I wanted 10, but I
Yeah.
just ran out of material. But it's pretty big. It's I think it's
Steel wool.
steel wool and cotton,
Mhm.
and then I got the steel galvanized steel box on the inside.
Yeah.
And then it's a fair size. It's 8x8. So
No, Tesla didn't use steel. He used like zinc, I want to say.
yeah, any kind of steel. But when I was studying James DeMeo, PhD, he worked on the Reich stuff, and he was saying galvanized steel worked good as the inside plate.
Hmm.
Yeah. He passed away too. He's gone. A lot of these guys are dying off.
Well, they're getting older. I mean, look at
Yeah.
him. Look at
Yeah,
Dollard,
Walt
man.
Jenkins.
Dollard
Yeah,
looks like an old miner.
He's like 70, 76. I think he's around there now.
I'm surprised he's that old.
Yeah. He's outlasted most guys. Well, look at Paul Babcock. He wasn't that old.
Yeah. Maybe he found the fountain of youth. He was messing around with stuff out there in the desert, dude.
Yeah.
That's what Aaron set him up there out there. He really was trying to help him, but the situation got bad, I guess.
Yeah. What him and Dollard got into conflict a lot, or
No, they were trying to set him up in the lab so he could do his work. And it kind of exploded.
who exploded? Dollard or Aaron?
Dollard, pretty much.
So
Oh,
he's just kind of.
he
I think
just
he
can't handle
seems
it.
like it. He looks like he's a guy that's a bit of a loose cannon.
He's just wild, you know. He just couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle being boxed up and closed in.
Right.
You know, he was like a wild animal, just pacing back and forth.
Right.
So he's a brilliant guy, but it's very wild.
Well, you
Some
can't.
people
It's
took advantage of it, but
hard to isolate the smart individual because then there's no outlet. You know.
brilliancy has it's not balanced. It's like if you're very brilliant, it seems you have other eccentricities, you know, and ADHD, oppressive, suppressive disorders, and all that kind of stuff on top of it. It's just
Eccentric.
yeah. Well, I guess looking into some of the stuff that he was looking into, I mean, nobody's going to like you, right? He's
Well, I
going
think
against
he's-
everybody.
Well, I think he's got a lot of anger in him. Because of all the stuff that's happened over the years.
Sure, yeah. I would be
So he's
angry
kinda-
too.
Yeah, he's kind of resentful and
Literally, he was living out of a car, wasn't he? Out in
yeah,
the desert?
for about 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, lived in the desert.
Yep.
Eating out of garbage cans. So yeah, he had it pretty rough.
Yeah, pretty rough life. I
And you-
kind of sympathize with that, but
And you guys wonder why he's angry?
oh
Yeah,
no, I don't
exactly.
wonder.
No,
I know.
we understand.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
there's a
when
way to point a finger and say it's that fault, you know.
Well, he would build things up. He'd get a good lab going, and then they'd take it away. and then
Or
he
something would happen, or something
Yeah,
catastrophic happen.
Yeah, or he'd be on the street again, and then somebody would pick him up again, and then build a new lab, and then get screwed over again, or the lab gets embezzled, like one of them did. I think the one at Landers.
Yeah, they did a big thing on a donation thing, and they got them all kinds of money and set up, and then they took all the money on them. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Just like flies, man.
They're a bunch of vultures. Yeah.
He should have hired like a security company to protect his lab from anybody,
Man, I think he was being held over him or something. I don't know. I don't want to go into that, but whatever the deal was, it sucks because he definitely was a brilliant guy. Was I don't know what you could say, but it's harder to nail it down now, I thought he would answer the things that at least I was looking for like Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
That it just didn't go anywhere.
Well, I think he just over those years he bumped into a lot of characters that said they were going to be his friend and turned out to be his worst enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's life, right?
Yeah, so I don't know his position now, if it's any better or worse, but I think he's just at the point where he just doesn't care anymore.
I think he just pulled back. He's wanted to fade back, get out of the limelight again. Well, he wanted to get his information out, but he didn't like the accolades. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, he did the energy, science, and technology conferences. And I was actually surprised he did as many as he did. You know what I mean?
Again, somebody was there. You know who?
Yeah. Yeah. For under his own free will or not?
Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, I know, Var. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, we're we still got another half hour. Philip, you got anything else you want to add to the conversation before you fall asleep?
Such
you need
a busy guy.
Bull. Phil, you need a Red Bull. Get that Red Bull out.
Hey, come on now.
Yeah, I need to sleep early because I gotta catch the train tomorrow to go to Gatineau.
Yeah, he's gotta get his sleep.
Because I need to do a little quick visit to my hometown this weekend.
You're from Sherbrooke or?
No, Gatineau next to Ottawa.
Oh, we got to know. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gatineau. Okay, I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where I'm from, actually.
Oh, you're born in Gatineau?
Yeah. No, I'm born in Ottawa, but I lived in Gatineau all my life. Yeah. All my youth, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little part of Ottawa. You go over the river there, over the bridge, and you're in Gatineau. We went to the, I guess it's the, not Science Center, I guess, Science Center, I guess, on the other side there of the bridge.
Yeah, the museum.
Museum there, yeah, we went there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where in Toronto?
Ottawa, Canada.
Ottawa? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I went up there. I think we went there.
Yeah. It's that's in Gatineau, so it's just over the river from Ottawa there.
That's in Gatineau? So that's where you're from, Gatineau?
Yeah.
He's from Gatineau. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you Canadian?
No, I'm New York. Well, my family way in the past was from Canada.
Oh, okay.
Native. Half native.
Somebody in your family moved to New York?
What?
You said...
We're talking, yeah.
You're cutting off really bad, Lulu.
Yeah, she's under heavy surveillance right now.
Yeah.
She's got to get an iPhone.
She's in the crosshairs of the
I-
CIA.
I have an iPhone. I do have an iPhone, but I'm a big
Oh,
mouth.
okay.
I'm a big mouth when it comes to different things. I do speak up, so I'm not very well liked on these things. But
Well,
yeah,
Well, it looks like I think we scared BurnEye off. He's like all messed up.
so I wanted to
Which-
ask all of you guys live in Canada and you live in New York. Do you guys know how to ski? People in Canada.
Yeah, of
course.
course.
I do,
course.
yeah. Snowshoe, ski, ice fish,
Snowboard.
hunt, fish, whatever else you want
I used to do snowboarding, skiing, played hockey for 16 years. Played
to. I used to
soccer
skateboard
for
when I was a kid. I can't do it anymore. I'm 58 now. If I go skateboard, I'm going to
I
die.
still play hockey once in a while, but it's very hard if you stop for a couple of years
oh
Yeah.
god, yeah.
to get back into
Yeah, you let your feet get like,
it. Yeah.
Oh,
You lose all
like
your
rubber?
balance when you slap shot.
Like rubber.
yeah, not so
took-
stable.
Yeah, it took me like 45 minutes just to get stable on my feet again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, I got back problems, so I don't go on the ice anymore.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Yeah, I
get
played my
anywhere.
fair share of hockey, that's for sure.
I'm lucky I'm still walking. So
Yeah, I was pretty active as a kid.
Were
was
you
mistake.
what grade of hockey you played? What division?
Before I played goalie and I also played right wing. I was right
Yeah.
winger. And let's see, the last year of hockey, I got invitation to try out for the Ontario Hockey League, and that's when I pulled my back out.
Oh yeah.
I was in the tryouts there in Oakville, Ontario. You had to get an invite to
Oh, yeah.
go for the OHL, right?
Okay.
So I went to that, and somebody cross-checked me from behind and went flying into the boards and screwed my back. And that was the end of that.
yeah,
No.
I
But,
got a pile driver when I was a kid.
But you were in the you were in the double or triple A or something.
This was going into the Ontario Hockey League, so just above AAA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a lot of respect for that because
Oh man.
I never played double letters, even double letters.
Oh yeah, it was full contact.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe this guy didn't even come back and say, "Are you all right?" Because he cross-checked me from behind, and I went flying head first right into the freaking boards.
Wow.
I just kind of like slid for like 6 feet right into the boards.
Oh.
And I went to get up, you know, how you put your stick on one knee and push yourself up. Second I did that, my back went. I'm like, oh no.
Oh wow.
And that was it. My dad literally almost had to carry me off the ice or
Wow.
carry me to the car. I could barely walk.
Yeah.
Pinched nerve in my back for about 2 weeks.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
broke my wrist when I was a kid ice skating. Like it was in a cast for I don't know, like 6-7 weeks. Yeah. First ice skating, first time break my wrist, never did it again.
No.
Oh, I broke my
Skating
leg
or
in
big
hockey.
rest? Sorry.
Yeah, I broke my leg in hockey too. So that was a pretty bad break. Broke the fib and tib on my left leg.
How did you
Yeah.
break your leg?
I fell down backwards and my leg was up in the air, and one guy went this way with my knee and the other guy caught me with the ankle going this way.
Yeah.
So it went
Wow.
compound spiral fracture of my fib and tib. That was not a good day.
Yeah. I never. I used to fight once in a while in hockey, but I never played that. It was not playing the double letters at all, so it was not. It was not very competitive, you know. People wouldn't die to win a hockey game. You know what I mean?
It was a life or death, right?
Before the time of even the face helmets or whatever, or face masks and helmets, and it was wild. Ontario versus Quebec, the original hockey games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Bernie you caught earlier. I was trying out for the OHL.
Oh yeah, I heard all of that. So who was the inventor individual you were talking about? I didn't hear the name there just prior to that. That
Me?
all of you. It was a group discussion there for
Oh,
a few minutes.
which inventor?
That was like
device?
living out of their car and stuff for a little bit. You said
Oh,
right?
Eric Dollard.
Oh,
Okay, it
Dollard.
was Dollard. That was Dollard.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It sucks how like a bit jaded he is by the just the negative experience, because he's one of the best and like most advanced and legitimate from growing up on the military bases, having all the access, but because of how advanced his work was and the amount of suppression and repression of the
Well,
70s, 80s, and 90s and early 2000s, it's like he was
See-
one of the major targets of trolls and of
Right.
like supposed
Yeah.
debunking and stuff like that. And it's
the
understandable.
two places that gave him the most trouble after he like down the road when he tried building his facilities. First one, he did a lot of work for the US Navy. The second place was after working for RCA. Those two places there pretty much put a target on his back after that when he went on his own. Right? It's like these guys were like trying to kibosh anything he did, just to kind of protect those institutions and their trade secrets, and you know what I mean?
Oh, of course. Like they were intentionally partnered or working or doing whatever with him, not as trying to learn, but the exact opposite of making sure that certain things didn't go public or didn't make any like specific secrets or whatnot, right? Like it's sad, and that it basically is handlers, right? As government hired but industry people, handlers of these inventors and genius minds that have so much potential, but the trauma of all of those years of attacks, now that things are more open and understood and like a full community of accepting and like looking to these people, especially Dollard himself, for the information, for teachings, and it's like they're just so permanently scarred and hateful towards
It's like like a shell shocked.
yeah, a shell of their original selves. Yeah, they're exactly.
You got to wonder if it was done on purpose.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. A million percent it is. And there's so many cases of it documented. The very first early algorithms, they were designed to both block real inventors and real breakthrough technology like Dollard, like Hutchinson, like Bendini, stuff like that. And then they would be designed to block them from the general public's view and access, while simultaneously it would be these funded debunk, intentionally not correctly reproducing their models, but actually funded and directed to make videos claiming that they were trying to replicate it, but with the actual hidden intention, but initial intention and instruction that they were to do it, and that they would make like 20 different videos on 20 different legitimate free energy devices that they would be building, and each one would come out bunk, and it was intentional, and that the algorithm would make sure those videos showed up for everyone that was searching those terms or those devices. And to this day, that's why you can see these channels, the gatekeepers, the liars, fakes like Electro Boom. I'm so good engineer that every single video 15 years later I still get shocked by high voltage, because he's a clown that's an entertainment that's put there to say free energy is impossible, and look, I've built this, I've built that one, and that there's a whole group of them that all build these devices, but intentionally didn't build them correctly. And this is the exact same practice that was used and pushed against Fleischmann and Pons and their original Utah cold fusion release and the technology, and that only that was the institution academics doing this, where here we have just the YouTube do-it-yourselfers. But there's a reason why these gatekeeper channels were so prevalent with the millions of views, and why these devices never worked, even though people like everyone on this panel built them and had them working themselves. Your videos, our videos, still to this day never get 1 million views, even though it's like, hey, we actually got it working. And that's the reason why.
That is why I was so angry when I trolled this channel.
Why?
Because all those bullshit videos get all the views, and like these are
it's by design.
On the research, these are the only researchers and builders and experimenters on the internet that are literally doing it. You know,
absolutely.
And the people that pretend to do it get all the views. You know,
but it's by design, Jarvis. That's the whole
just
thing.
makes me angry.
It's a control grid. Of course, it angers all of us, and it should anger any honest, intelligent person that, like, the system has been designed to lie to the population and to humanity every single stage. And that not only did they get all the views and then establish the public mindset that all of these things that are fake and have been debunked, and that several reputable channels that definitely know what they were doing all tried making and none of it worked, just like the universities with Pons and Fleischmann's cold fusion.
But we're gaining traction, though. I do believe.
Of course we are. Of course we are. But
if I gotta be the villain, if I'll be a troll, I'll do it. I don't care. I want the views. I want people to understand that this is literally the only people on the internet that's really trying to figure this issue out.
The thing is we're not, but we are some of a group of the best, and there's not a whole lot, but there's several.
We are a group of the best.
But they've made it and established and hid these groups from each other as one of the most successful methods of blocking these technologies from being understood by the masses, is by how they kept all of the different breakthrough energy and technology groups away from each other and kept feeding them the same debunking, gatekeeping videos that they were using of themselves or being produced on themselves. Like, they used that same method against us, so that so many geniuses and breakthrough people in this community that had all that trolling and attacks, they also believe still, like, that all the rest are fake, or the majority, because they never figured out the system of control and manipulation and bought back into it. And it's the ultimate method of compartmentalization.
Well, I would say the Rockefellers are because of that.
Yeah,
they try to stifle education, bro.
Not tried.
Anybody with money is going to do that.
After World War II, they literally are the ones in America that funded and control to this day.
The Russia actually funded the World War II.
Russia.
The Rockefellers are in charge of our dumbing down of it.
I'm pretty sure it's the Rockefeller Foundation that is still in charge of the the educational program or whatever, the curriculum or whatnot,
well, they had grants,
public American schools. And it's insane. And if they aren't right now officially, it's probably switched to some non-profit that they're involved with and fund, and or Soros. And that if you look back historically in the 60s,
let them snake through the woods, man. They can't hide forever. We'll call them out. It takes us to say, hey, this is what they're doing. And BurnEye is right. But
exactly what we have to do.
We can say, look, what you're doing, we're not stupid. We see what you're doing. You
It doesn't.
know?
It's irregardless. If your technology works, why would it matter?
It matters because
just work on
the
your
technology does work, and it's been around for at least 50, 60 years, but we know like at least 100. But that's the
Over
masses
100.
still
Over
exactly
100.
over
Yeah,
100.
way
But I'm
over
just saying,
100.
like from Tesla's
How old is the
sort of
pyramid?
thing. I just so,
12,000.
let's just say from Tesla's time, though.
12,500 years.
Hey, if I could say one thing about the pyramid, pyro mid means fire in the middle, and Joe Bigman, I'm sorry,
John Bigman.
John, I'm sorry. He showed where you get the electric field lines and you get the magnetic field line. The magnetic field line was in the middle of the pyramid.
Yep.
And pyramid is literally pyro mid.
Well, it depends on also what's outside.
No, I'm saying when it comes to language, pyramid is literally fire in the middle.
Yeah, is that Greek or Roman?
Greek.
Pyro is Greek, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. No, but literally,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Jarvis, 100%. And it's
I knew you would.
That's why the flame literally comes out of the capstone from the top into the middle.
On the full pyramid, like the pyramid we see is not the original
Mayan
pyramid.
pyramids, isn't it?
Yeah. What we see is
like Quetzalcoatl or whatever.
Yeah. It's a remnant. It's not the real pyramid that really exists.
It's the base of it, but that when they found them, they were still buried with mud, dirt, and trees growing on top. And then there's been some restoration work on them. But also a key part is that all of the coatings of the Great Pyramids, whether it's Mesoamerica, North America, China, or Egypt, that they were found with either like a gold or metal the top piece, but then also the shell of like there's the polished limestone that was removed off of the Great Pyramid.
There were electrodes
and whatnot. Exactly. That's the key part. And that in Mexico,
they were earth electrodes.
The great one.
They called it overground, literally with concrete.
It was
that's the technical word.
It doesn't matter what the mass is made out of. Crystalline is better, but
I mean, it's like a big electric field emitter.
Exactly, and generator.
It's exactly. It brings the ground.
The shape of that magnetic field, like John, right?
Yeah.
John Bigman showed that the electric field
is on the outside.
Goes
around. Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I could do a cone. Cone's an interesting shape too, because with the pyramid you have charge accumulation on the corners. You know, it's a brilliant shape that
this is key, Jarvis. Actually, do you mind giving more of demonstration? And that this is such a fundamental aspect that engineers and physicists need to understand is geometry actually is how it directs energy. It actually is able from the shape to be able to amplify, just like with sound, and you're actually getting more energy out just from how the structure is, right?
Yeah.
So
shape power. There's actually a book called Shape Power. I would recommend you to look at it. And it is kind of like orgonite based. You know, orgonite is similar though, you know.
Well, it's applying those geometries. Exactly.
It could be.
Orgonite
you condense, right?
Yeah.
And
orgonite.
That's because I think it's plasma that comes from the
they call
ionosphere.
It metal organic frameworks now in the technical language. They call them MOFs.
It's a huge static capacitor.
Metal organic frameworks.
Okay, well, say that again. The got the word. The short thing of whatever. What that just stood for? The anagram. No.
Can I show you something in person if you don't mind, Mike?
It's a MOF? Is that what it is?
Conic sections are how planets are supposed to orbit the sun. It's based off Kepler dynamics, okay? Conic sections. And then Newton went with that too. Okay, but conic sections can be like the top of a torus and the bottom of a torus, like an hourglass.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
this is
inverted out of the center of the torus, the anti force in space.
well, the
essentially.
torus is, if I just made this into an electret and spun it, it would produce a magnetic field. And it could be like 1,000 volts just sitting here charged.
Yep.
You could spin it.
You'll induce it. Yeah.
Right. And normally you take a Faraday disc to put a magnet in there.
Right.
But I don't need a magnet. I can literally just spin this to get the
Right.
magnetic field. Charge it at
Yep.
1,000 volts.
The problem is it's not anchored.
It's
a
a
floating magnetic
hybrid.
field.
It's a hybrid of high voltage and high current. Because if you know anything about Faraday generators, they generate high current.
Oh yeah.
They don't know how to get the high voltage.
Well,
all
you
you
just put it through
do-
a transformer.
No,
Just
all you
plug it
gotta
into
do
an
is
oscillator
it
and
has like
transform it.
1,000 volt electret that's covered with aluminum foil and spinning
If you
in
can, if you can pull that
spinning
off,
just
it
by
would work.
itself to produce the magnetic field at 1,000 volts. That's a high current generator, so you get high current and high voltage
Yeah,
by spinning an electret.
right. That's if you can achieve that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing. Can you? What's the definition of electric again, please?
okay, so you can have a conventional electret that's charged on two terminals, and they call that dipolar because it looks like a magnetic field with the electric field. It kind of does that torus thing. You can have monopolar electrets though. With my method, I triboelectrically charge different materials to get a predominant positive or a predominant negative charge. And I can stack them however I want and use substrates to stack them or do numerous different things. This is just, an introduction.
Gotcha. And so what makes up the base electric to begin with?
Well, a normal electret, you can use something like Mike Faraday recommends, like polyethylene.
Yeah.
That is a conventional electric material, but in my patent, that would be considered a binder in my, because whenever you charge the polyethylene, it just polarizes the molecules. So it acts as the binder in my patent.
Gotcha.
But the aggregate is the surface charge that gives it volume density, not surface charge density. It gives it volume.
Right.
That's important.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know in the old
Thank you.
The old recipes of
Thank you.
Making electrets, they use paraffin wax.
Yes.
Yeah, they use carnauba and
I want to do that just to teach it though, because
so essentially
99% of people don't even know what it is.
So an electric is electric insulator, but that has been imprinted with dielectric charge differential.
A magnet is a permanent magnetic field, and an electret is a permanent electric field. Now,
it's the actual electric field
be
inside
monopolar,
the
like an orchid, like with the field lines, or it could be bipolar with the field lines like a capacitor. Yeah. But you can literally make monopolar charges by dominating it with triboelectrically pre-charging the aggregate, adding the binder, and then you get the volume density. And the volume.
Are you sure it's a monopolar, or is it just out of balance?
It's never going to be a strictly monopolar.
Right. I was going to say this.
Yeah, it's going to be more dominated by one pole than the other.
Right. Like a magnet. Basically, like the South Pole is weaker than.
But you can literally make them at two different times, one positive, one negative. And that's what I'm trying to get at, because you can combine those and stack them.
Right.
Oh,
Right,
It's,
that's
right.
it's a different way of thinking. It's a
It's
different
Like a
way.
battery.
Okay.
Hey, is
yeah.
that was that
Okay.
my
Well,
suggestion?
if
gonna
I
have
may
to
say,
talk
it's like
more
the
about this,
Zamboni.
after the
It's
show.
like a Zamboni pile. It's a
Right.
Zamboni
Right.
pile.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't it what
Yes,
I
but,
didn't I make
I
a
get
suggestion?
100%. I understand everything you're talking about, Jarvis. Just don't give. We'll talk more after the stream ends, my friend. But we will
Send
go
me
in
the
depth
link.
into
Hey,
it.
dude,
Just
you gotta get Facebook, bro.
I have Facebook.
Dude, hit me
We're
up.
we're live on my Facebook right now, even actually on both my YouTubes and my Facebooks. But yeah, no, just before we end this, or after the stream ends, make sure you stay on, and we will figure something out to continue on. And
Roger.
as right before we continue on this live, Ben,
Hey, Ben.
Fidge TV, how are you, my friends?
Oh, Ben.
Glad you joined. And
Hey, what's going on?
there's
Hey,
Ben.
Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hey,
Man,
How you doing?
can you please give me an Elmo laugh? If you
You said what?
an Elmo laugh,
An Elmo laugh?
please.
I don't know. Maybe he's around here somewhere.
Or yeah.
Yeah, thank you,
Oh
bro.
God.
That's silly. I love it. Thank
I
you.
haven't heard that in
Amazing.
40 years.
It's good, man. Like, we all need to just go to a campsite. Like, I don't mind. I was the troll, but I don't care. I'm a bad guy. I'm a good guy. I can be whatever guy you want. It's all about just like, let's get people interested. I don't care because we got it. Nobody else got it, but we got it. Dude, this group and Nathan's group and Crypto's group got it. And nobody else got it. Like, we got it.
Oh, didn't they say the meek would inherit the earth?
No, there's lots of others that do too, but we are a pretty good group, and we can all get together and have the most epic science time ever. It's already happening, and it is happening the first or second weekend of August in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for Tesla Tech, where I will be doing my first public-private event presentation. But also joining there and presenting will be Bob Grenier, as well as
Tesla Tech.
what?
Oh, good job, dude.
Yeah, so we're all meeting up there. So everyone here should also join and meet us there, because it's going to be one epic event. And there's also, oh my goodness, Jared Polak is going to be there and presenting. Amazing. Do you know who that is, Jarvis? His work with structured water or easy water?
Well, easy. Yeah, I recognize that. Yeah, sure.
So another, I guess, professor and
The
lots of work.
exclusion zone.
Exactly, structured water, but charge density or
Bro,
charge.
like, I got all this, man. You know.
Exactly.
Dude, imagine realizing like 10 years ago how electrics could advance technology, you know, and then trying to share it now.
Yeah, wasn't it like a big?
Oh, now is the perfect time, Jarvis, because I actually fully understand and a bit more of what that implies, but we're not going to talk about it publicly, and we're going to stay on afterwards, and then we'll come up with the plan, and then we'll do another one private immediately after, because I understand it to such a degree, because me and Jeremiah Pop have pretty much been 48 hours. 48 hours video call this whole week, but it was private. But we shared each other's information, and I comprehend exactly what aspect that is and what it can do, and that we advanced so far that they definitely were hacked. We were hacked, and our private conversation was being watched and interfered with and possibly recorded. And then after it ended, my cameras were still active for the first time, as was my microphone. It was pretty creepy. So it's like there's certain forces listening, because we do fully understand exactly what you're talking about.
You're aware of it, but what can they do? It's already reached.
They're trying to steal the technology. That's what I'm saying. So don't give them away
doesn't
too
matter.
much.
Your job is to spread it and get it.
Yeah,
Of course.
You know what I mean?
proliferation is going to what's going to win.
I fully agree, and that's what we're doing, but we have to do it in a controlled manner, especially in the sense of they have certain aspects of this science already developed into high-level technology and weaponry, but they don't fully understand how it works and the implications of it, and especially how to engineer it on the higher up level and what those implications are and how it connects in and works, except for maybe a small amount, and they're all under Hal Puthoff's directing crew, I do believe. And I have never been so scared in my life, because I do finally have it, and what I have is all of the understanding together. And now,
bro, imagine having it for over a decade.
No, but it's the full. I'm going to be putting the patent forth of quantum matter, and that it's exactly what they've been missing, and they apparently Hal Puthoff is hunting for, so that he can actually build his 30-year-old quantum computer design, and that the U.S. military and most militaries around the world, probably all of them, actually haven't figured it out and don't have it. And that's why there's actually no active running quantum computer right now, or any quantum processor, because they don't understand what quantum matter is and how it works.
That's good.
But we do, and thus we have to prevent them from finding out before we've developed it to the level that it can be fully taught to the masses. But in the meantime, what is essential to be taught to the masses is the smaller levels of this technology, and how anyone can make it and learn it and get it out there, and then be releasing it step by step, sort of thing.
Oh, first,
yes, well said.
Yeah, there has to be a smooth way of doing it. I mean, we have seen, but at least they're not in the assassination mind frame. And I understand that, like,
it's too public.
Yeah, you know what?
We're risking a time of war, so we don't want to give our enemies any information. I get that.
Yeah.
Well, from what
I mean?
Tom Bearden describes, those forces told him, you can play with your, silly little energy devices, but don't, fuck around with gold and, making gold.
Yeah, I mean, he owns the gold, but
it's just because of the gold standard. They don't want the gold value to go
I still
below.
think, though,
it's very easy to make gold.
I think America is still the greatest country on earth. I love America. I'm a patriot. I served in the Navy. I know things that could damage our country, and I know things that can help our country. But it comes to the right time of disclosing these things. But there's been seeds that have been dropped throughout these channels that the average person, if they just listen, it could sew them together.
Yeah, I think Eric Dollard nailed it. He was describing the first time him and his buddy Chris made the cosmic induction generator, made basically a galaxy in a glass ball.
Yeah.
And they did it in the guy's bedroom.
I think
basically
Sparky Sweet has something better than that, man.
Believe it. But no, okay, Jarvis, you can't be approaching things in the matter of what's better, what's this. It's everything is fucking cool, and then it's figuring out how everything happens, and then being able to build them together. That's what I'm saying.
Can I finish my point?
Please do. Please do. Start from the beginning.
We're slowly leaking that, though, Bernie.
Yeah. What my point is in this whole thing is, you don't need a multi-billion-dollar laboratory like, Zendia Labs or, these multi-billion-dollar corporations in order to make this stuff. We're getting at an age now where information technology, we're using the internet, we're sharing ideas, we're coming up with ideas, we're making the ideas work, and we're doing it without a massive laboratory with unlimited funds. So I think that's scaring them more than we're afraid of them.
Absolutely, Mike. It's the
Right?
biggest thing, and that's what we're doing and how we have to do it. And it's that the controlled manner that will be successful is by teaching the steps that each of us, like with our own discoveries and systems, and then our groups together, and then how we've taken it to the next steps and generations of technology, is the first things we make public always is the first design, the first like proof of concept we ourselves learned from, and teaching it to others and getting them doing it. And then it's like once they get that, then it's like, it just, you do the next step and the next step and the next step in such a controlled manner that everyone, by the time you're done the first step, everyone in the world will be aware that they themselves, with their own hands, with like $5 worth of recycled materials, can make the base level of any of these devices, sort of thing. Whether it's like a battery, whether it's like this or that sort of thing, and that's how we do it.
Like my battery cell technology. I'm building this stuff with a shoestring budget, and I could take my battery cell and outperform any Duracell that was manufactured in a multi-billion-dollar corporation and facility with the latest technology, and I'm building it on a friggin' in my kitchen. You know what I mean?
They're also mass producing them, so
no, but what I'm saying is,
they got while also
funds.
affording a family of 3, right? It's like it's your own money. You work your own tiny job, and that's the key point, Mike. You're exactly bang on. And it's the same with pretty much any of us and whatnot, that it's these just regular people in their backyards that have spent 10 years figuring it out, like to certain degrees, and then building it and testing it and whatnot, we're all able to come up with the better systems than the current academic world even believes is possible, right? And it's like anyone can do it and everyone needs to be doing it. And exactly, Herb Green, Stan Meyer is the ultimate example of it. And that a key aspect of the whole water car is that there's a very, very simple and easy method of being able to generate a lot of hydrogen depending on the electrolyte, like the the salt or whatever aspect that you put into the water, and then just getting an extremely high amount of voltage or amperage in, specifically just from the alternator, right? That's right there, going right in just into an extra jar of electrolyte water. Boom, there's your charge, and then you have a huge amount of this explosive reactive hydrogen, and it just, you don't have to worry about it combusting because you're not pressurizing it. You're just shooting it straight into your fuel injection and the combustion chamber of the engine, right?
See, here's my cell technology. I'm making this in the kitchen, and this will outlast any friggin' Duracell they ever put out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a decent size, too.
Yeah, it's a 4-inch, 6x6.
Yeah.
Something you can literally put under a mouse pad and keep it powered. And
mine, I was going to try to design like a Nintendo cartridge, so you could have a whole bus of them.
Yeah,
and you
like
can
this
make
one
it,
here.
Whatever.
This one's putting out about 2.5 to 2.8 volts. So I've actually made some grounds with it. It's actually putting out more power now.
Decent.
Very nice.
That's the one you were talking about needs to be vacuumed, right?
Yeah. So until I can figure out how to vacuum seal this properly, then this thing should last 10 to 20 years. So
it's just a matter of time. I might be able to help with that.
What about epoxy? Would that
No, it won't. No, the graphite's very difficult to work with. Nothing sticks to it. I did find a compound that does, but it's the way the construction of how the cell goes together makes it way more difficult. So
I understand what you're saying, Mike. And
May I say one thing?
maybe
For the next stage, I think Mike's on. Definitely. I mean, I've been a fan of Mike's for a long time.
thank you.
You know,
we all
But-
are. Everyone in this community.
yeah, he's just an OG. You know what I mean? Like he really knows what he's saying. He's done the research, and I've been a fan. But I would say carbon pile would be one of those things that you can consider. And I think you know what I'm saying with that.
Sorry,
Because what I'm doing is like a Zamboni pile. But
Yeah.
carbon
Jarvis, wait till we're no longer live to share the stuff, brother.
Yeah. When we get into details like that, we'll do it offline.
I would like to speak with you, Mike.
No trade secret.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Immediately after this live ends, just stay on, and then we can talk about the stuff.
Even though we have no trade.
All right, let's cut.
I'll leave you guys for the after party. I gotta go because I gotta wake up early tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna square up. It's we've done our 2 hours. We can do our chat in the backstage there after the show ends. Thanks a lot, chat. You were really good tonight. We lit it up pretty good. We had some great topics to talk about. Awesome. We go live to air
There it
again.
is.
Yeah,
That magical toroid.
I've seen that before. So we go live to air again next Friday at 9:00 Eastern, 6:00 Pacific. And don't forget to subscribe and share to Bernie's channel and mine. Go check out Philip's channel. He's got his Finite Energy. You're on Facebook too, right, Philip?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Patreon. I'll send you the Patreon link.
Yeah, just put it right in the live chat there. And also your YouTube channel as well. And everybody knows Bernie, and pretty much everybody knows me by now. And our members are growing, but my numbers seem to be stagnant. I think I've been blacklisted again. My numbers, they say I got more members going, but yet I still can't break the 4,000 people barrier.
Oh, it happens to all of us, and
it's driving me nuts.
Well, people leave.
Lulu,
People
Phil,
come.
Ben, John Bigman, and Jarvis, all thanks for joining. And Ben, wishing you healing blessings. And if you're wanting to stay on afterwards too, we can talk a bit about the rodent coil stuff that I was mentioning. Either way, thank y'all for joining.
I agree.
All right, guys, we're going to go off air, and everybody, thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll be on next Friday. Take care.
Welcome.
Cheers.
Bye,
Cheers.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.